Hi, Dr. Tindall here from New Life Naturopathic. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about a common issue that we see with our nutritional work, and that's thyroid issues. And a lot of people suffer from it, especially women. Thyroid problems aren't always a thyroid problem. For example, one of my patients, she actually had thyroid surgery, had her thyroid removed, and guess what it was? It was actually her liver that was messed up. So as we started fixing her liver, even though she's lost her thyroid gland, she now does better because she can do conversion of T3 and T4, the synthroid that she's taken. So we're going to go in a little bit more in depth, and we're going to take a very complex system, which is here, hypothalamus, pituitary. You can see how this all interplays. We're going to take this real complex thing. I'm going to try to explain it to you so that you have to so you understand why dietary lifestyle changes, why we do targeted supplementation, why we do all the paperwork that we do, because that paperwork is for us to get to know you, how your body's functioning. So when you start to have symptoms, you have breakdown in physiology. When you have breakdown in physiology, it's usually because of nutritional problems. You're putting bad stuff in and you're not getting good stuff. So what we're trying to do with our patients is get bad stuff out, get good stuff in, and then we use targeted supplementation to rebuild these systems and restore normal physiology. So we do therapeutic dosage to get people out of the hole, rebuild, and then we do maintenance or rebuild dosages to rebuild the system, and then after that we try to get our patients down onto maintenance dosages. So you start with more, a little bit less, to maintain and get it healthy. Plus, you've hopefully done the dietary changes that you're now using your food to be your nutrition and your medicine, so to speak, to keep your body healthy. And once again, long term, that's your long-term goals. What do I want to do in the next several years? How do I want to get healthier? And you can reverse a lot of disease processes through lifestyle dietary changes. So we're going to talk about the thyroid here a little bit. So let's get back to this. So why isn't a thyroid problem always a thyroid problem? Well, here's how the whole system kind of works. You have your hypothalamus, which releases thyroid releasing hormone to the pituitary. The pituitary then releases thyroid stimulating hormone to the thyroid. And it tells the thyroid, we need to make some hormones. So it makes the main ones T3 and T4. T3 is the active hormone that turns on the metabolism. It docks with the receptor sites on the cells, upregulates metabolism, brings things in, let's get going, let's have our energy, okay? If you get too much T3, that's hyperthyroidism, and that's when you see the common symptoms of that is the bug eyes, and then also you see a tremendous amount of weight loss. Why? Because the metabolism's running out of control. Usually it's an infection, heavy metal, things like that that's causing that upregulation or upstimulation of the thyroid to produce T3, okay? Medical route, they irradiate the thyroid, they kill it, put you on the drug. You can actually fix these problems, once again, because you have to understand what's causing them. We use different herbs to down-regulate thyroid to protect and keep your thyroid, because you need it for, once again, health maintenance. And then it also makes T4, which is about 90, depends on who you read, but I'm gonna use round numbers. So 5% is active, 95% is inactive, okay? And this is flowing around the bloodstream, and what happens, it pulses, it leaves the hormones in the bloodstream, and then what happens over a period of time is T4 is converted by the liver through phase 2 detoxification into T3, if things are running right, okay? So as the T3 levels drop, you will have a feedback mechanism to the pituitary or to the hypothalamus, okay? And it says upregulate, let's stimulate the TSH to get this thing going again, okay? And if we have too much, say for that hyperthyroidism, you actually get a feedback, then it says turn this thing off. We want to downregulate. So that's why you see this TH number. A lot of doctors just run the TSH. You'll see these fluctuate up and down. The normal range or optimal range is about 0.9 to 1.5. That's optimal. And if you're above 2.5, you're actually in hypothyroidism, subclinical. Basically what happens with a lot of patients is they get to 2.5, depending on the lab, say to 4.5. We call it no man's land. Your medical doctor will say, oh, you got a normal thyroid. And yet you're going, hey doc, I'm gaining all this weight, I have no energy, I have all these problems, I have hair falling out, my nails are breaking, I can't go to the bathroom, all kinds of symptoms that come with the thyroid. No man's land. You have to know what you're doing when you do this, and this is why a lot of people get stuck, frustrated, because a lot of doctors just don't know this whole gambit. So I'm going to try to explain to you why you need to do what you need to do and hopefully get yourself healthy. So that's how the system runs, okay? Enter stress, the adrenals, okay? If the adrenals are kicking out cortisol, it shifts you to make reverse T3. Reverse T3 is a protective mechanism when we're stressed because our body doesn't differentiate different types of stress. It doesn't differentiate it between emotional stress, physical stress. The body just sees it as stress. And so what it does, it goes, oh, wait a minute, we got to protect the system. We got to down-regulate. I don't know what I'm going to eat next. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to shut my metabolism down. And it should be short-term. Unfortunately, in modern society, this becomes long-term, especially with women. I got to run here. I got to run there. I got to keep the house running. My kids are sick. I got to have this job. I got to do this. And what happens is they got what we call the HP axis gets messed up, okay? And they make too much reverse T3, which then what happens is you're down-regulating the system. So instead of making an 80-20 ratio, you're making a 60-40 ratio. Well, what does my body do with excess energy? It doesn't get rid of it. It does what? It stores it. So that's when you see a thyroid problem. They typically there'll be a person that gains kind of weight everywhere. They just kind of blow up. They still look proportional, but they just get bigger. And they're like, I can't get this off. That's because of this. Because this T3, T4, the metabolism isn't working. That's why you're holding the weight. We got to figure out why the metabolism isn't working. Is it thyroid? Is it liver? Is it adrenal? Is it pituitary? Is it hypothalamus? Interesting thing about the hypothalamus, no blood test really to check the hypothalamus if it's healthy or not. So hypothalamus, you have to do and figure it out via symptomatology, history. Once again, that's why we do all the paperwork, because we're trying to look at all these different things, assess these different systems to figure out which one, and not just one. Sometimes when this whole system goes awry, all these other systems back here try to compensate. So, what's the big killer of this thing? Nobody's gonna like it. Sugar. When you up the insulin levels, it messes this whole system up. So this is once again why we do dietary lifestyle changes. Why in running these metabolic systems, you have to have a lot of different vitamins, minerals, enzymes, all kinds of things. That's why back to food. My body breaks down proteins to make new proteins, breaks it into enzymes to run metabolic pathways. I eat my vegetables. Why? Vegetables are loaded with vitamins and minerals. You need vitamins and minerals to run this metabolic pathway. Dorito chips don't have that. Cakes doesn't have that stuff. Plain sugar doesn't have any of those vitamin complexes or mineral complexes. It just overloads the system. Processed food, most of it's dead. That's why it can stay in containers for years, because there's no life in it. Dead food doesn't create healthy people. Live food creates live, healthy people. Once again, why we focus really hard with us on lifestyle dietary changes, because if you don't fix that, you're not going to fix this, and you're not going to get healthy. So, reason we tell people that try to work with us here at New Life Naturopathic, we understand the system. We actually will a lot of times order, because a lot of times medical doctors may order TSH, maybe T4, but there's several hormones or several tests that you have to run, and if we work with you, we'll get those. A lot of times we can order those tests for you. We have a discount labs service that we work with, that we can get these, instead of being these tests, all the thyroid tests being $700-800, we can get them done for about $300. So, because we need the information, so we use the information from the labs, the information from your history, physical exam, to figure out the system and then what do we need to do to restore the system. The other thing I tell patients is this: it took you years to get here. We've gotten into a fast food society. Hey doc, I'm gonna do this, I'm changing my lifestyle for a minute, I'm gonna take my supplements for a minute, and I'm gonna be better tomorrow. No, it doesn't work that way. It has to come back to consistency. Consistently eating healthy foods. Consistently exercising. Why? If I exercise, I have to upregulate this whole system. I gotta make energy. So exercise is important to stimulate the system to recover. There's certain type of exercises that you do. We will explain that to you. There's certain types of foods that up this. There's certain types of food that destroy this. We're gonna get back to that getting good stuff out, or good stuff in and bad stuff out, and giving it time to heal up. So that's what we do here at New Life Naturopathic. So look us up on our website, and look forward to giving you more videos and educating you more about how to be healthy.